Hello there. Dustin Czarny, Democratic Elections Commissioner. Welcome to Commissioner in a Car. And this is the Election Eve edition of Commissioner in a Car. And I'm going to talk to you about everything you need to know about Election Day tomorrow. But a few things to wrap up with early voting. Sorry I didn't check in last week. It's been very, very busy at the Board of Elections. And in fact, so busy because we had so many early voters that voted over the last 9 days. We broke a record. 79,346 people checked in, regular voters checked in for early voting. That breaks the record from 2020, which had 59,000 people. And it is, we also had another 1,500, 1,600 people that did provisional balloting, which means affidavits. And that's at least because we're still going through the bags from the last day of early voting that came in last night, but we're starting to count all the provisional ballots and starting to log them in. Now, we can't rule on those until at least 4 days after Election Day, because the State Board of Elections will do a cross-county, cross-state check to make sure nobody did a provisional ballot in two different counties under the same name. And that happens 3 days after Election Day. And it includes all the Election Day provisional ballots as well. So we'll do some research. We'll get ready, but we can't actually start to count those. In addition to early mail balloting, we had about 33,000 requests for vote by mail, either early vote by mail or absentee vote by mail. And about 25,000 or so have returned either early vote by mail or absentee vote by mail. And most of those, I believe around 22,000 of those, will be part of our election night results on tomorrow evening, along with the early vote. They'll start to show up around 9 p.m. And once those results show up, we will then get results. We'll then get results from Election Day as well. And Election Day results will start around 10 o'clock tomorrow night. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So let's talk about Election Day itself. If you're not one of those lucky early voters or the early vote by mail or absentee voters, your last chance to participate in this election is Election Day. Election Day voters we have 146 polling sites throughout Onondaga County. And if you're an active registered voter in Onondaga County, you can go to any one of these polling sites. I'm sorry, you cannot go to any one of these polling sites. Sorry, I was a little tired. You have to go to the polling site that is assigned to you, the voter. And how do you find that out? Well, you go to onvote.net. And if you enter in your information, it not only will be able to confirm whether you are an active voter in Onondaga County, but where your polling place is. And it actually works throughout New York State. So if I have any viewers from outside of Onondaga County, the link that we put up goes to the State Board link, and you can get it anywhere in New York State. So you have to go to your polling site. The polls are open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And at your polling site, you'll check in on your poll pad. A ballot will be printed up on the on-demand printer, but it has to be from that polling location. And you can then vote. And those votes will be tabulated later that night. And we will finally be on our way to being done with the 2024 general election. Now, if you're unable to find yourself as a voter, you have two options. If you are an inactive voter in Onondaga County, or you're registered in another county in New York State, but you've lived here for at least 30 days, you can do what's called an affidavit ballot. You can go to any of our you have to go to the polling site assigned to you and fill out an affidavit ballot. We will research that and count that after the election. So, and this also goes for anybody who has moved but is an active voter, but has moved to a new address. You have to do an affidavit ballot because we need that. We need to be able to research that to make sure that you got the right ballot and that you were properly addressed. Now, well over 70% of our affidavit ballots are good. The ones that are not good are people who have never registered at all, anywhere in New York State. So those are not good, usually. But there's another option, not just affidavit balloting. If you are one of those people who have never registered in New York State, maybe you just moved here from another state, then you can get a court order. We will have a couple of judges sitting in our office at 1000 Erie Boulevard West. They'll start around 7 a.m. And they'll work right till about 8:30 p.m. And you can come plead your case to the judge, and the judge will give you a court order to vote on election day. You would have to go to your polling site that you are assigned to do that vote. You can't do that in our office. So don't wait till the last minute to come down and get a court order, because you need time to travel to the polling site. I don't know how lines are going to be tomorrow. I imagine they are going to be quite longer than what most people expect when they vote. The reason is that it's a presidential year. They're always longer in a presidential year. And especially around surge times like before work, that 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. window, lunch times between 11 and 1 p.m., and then post-dinner time between 5 and 7 p.m. Those are our surge times for voters, and we will see how this goes. Now, we had 103,000 people do early voting and return their vote by mail ballots. Another 8,000 have requested vote by mail ballots but haven't returned them yet. So in 2020, we had about 111,000 people either return ballots or vote by mail. So that took the lines off of on election day. So we're in that same range. However, we have more voters, and I expect higher turnout. That's going to contribute to some lines. What will help the lines is that we have poll print on demand at every polling site. We didn't have that in 2020. They're brand new printers. They're fast. They proved themselves in early voting, and also on general election last year. That's going to make things a lot quicker at the polling sites. We also have higher staffing at the polling sites than we had in 2020. More polling sites than we had in 2020. We're really hopeful that we're going to be able to really exceed expectations like we did for early voting. Now, we only had 3-minute and 14-second wait times for early voting. That was the average wait time. It's amazing amount of work that was done to get to that. So we're really proud of that. So let's talk about results. I kind of briefly touched on that, but we've talked about court orders, we've talked about affidavits, we've talked about regular voters and voting. So let's talk about the end of the night. Election night results start at 9 p.m. You can get your results at onvote.net. We have upgraded that system. It's been upgraded since 2016 with nice, colorful maps that you can download district by district results. It's quite extensive, and it's, I think, some of the best work that we do in getting information to voters. At 9 p.m., or starting around 9 p.m., the early voting sticks will start to be uploaded, and And so will the vote by mail results for all the ballots, about, again, 21,000 or so, 22,000 ballots that we have counted and canvassed in a bipartisan fashion. And those results are sequestered, and we don't know them. We won't know them until the time we upload them to the website. And so that will start around 9 p.m. Then around 10 p.m., we'll start getting election day results. Machine results will start coming in from all of our 146 polling sites. Those are actually manually driven down to our office. There's no over-the-air results that is done at our polling sites, so there's no internet problems. The sticks are driven down, and we then upload them, and so that takes some time to get all of those sticks from all across the county. We expect to be done by midnight, at least done with the election night results. But election night results are unofficial until we certify the election, and they're not complete. As I said, of the ballots that we have received back, not all of them are going to be reported on election night for absentee or vote by mail. All of the early vote will be reported, but a segment of the absentee ballots that came in that were not canvassed in our last canvass on Friday will be held for canvassing and reporting 7 days after the election. And also the several thousand, I believe, affidavit ballots that will come in on election night will also need to be researched, and they won't be canvassed till 7 days after the election. So we could have anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 votes out there countywide that will not be counted until after election day. If a race is close, if a race is, this is my personal opinion here, but if a race is closer than 1% or even closer than 2%, if it's a big race, you may want to think about withholding your saying somebody has been elected or not, because if a race is close, and there's this many ballots that are out there, then it's possible that it'll get so close that it'll get into the hand count range. What is the hand count range? It's 0.5%. The hand count is, at that time, we will actually physically hand count ballots after we certify if the race is within 0.5%. That's New York State law. So no winner can be declared until that hand count is over. So if a race is within 1 or even 2 percentage points, if it's a large race, I would withhold declaring victory or even admitting defeat. The race is not going to be called, and you should respect the process. We've done hand counts each of the last couple of years, and we're kind of used to it. I'm hoping I don't have to do a hand count. The old prayer for election officials is high turnout, wide margins, but we'll see if that holds true tomorrow. If you have any issues, you can call our office, 315-435-VOTE. We'll be there. Well, we'll be there starting at 4 a.m., but we'll be open starting at 6 a.m. But we'll be taking phone calls before that, before we open, I'm sure. But we will be open for business from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Election day in New York is the longest polling hours in the nation. 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. is the longest polling hours in the nation. We also have early voting. We also have more robust vote by mail now. So there's lots of options for people to have participated in this election, and I hope they have. But you also have court orders tomorrow for those last-minute problems that may have come up. Give us a call. We'll try to help you. Stop on down. We'll try to help you. If you're at a polling site, the inspectors are trained to help you. Do not wear political material inside of a polling site. Anything with a candidate's name on it is actually forbidden inside of a polling site. But things like slogans, like "Make America Great Again" or "Build Back Better," or I'm not even sure what the Harris slogan is this year. But things like that, "Don't Tread on Me," "Black Lives Matter," all of that stuff is allowed inside of a polling place. It's strictly prohibited on the candidate's name. And be nice to your polling inspectors. They are the people that are trying to get this job done, and they're your neighbors and friends. And they get paid minimum wage to be there, and it's a long day. So be nice to them and thank them for their service. I'm very tired. It's been a long week. I'm honored to be one of the elections commissioners here. I'm honored to work in the office with Election Heroes. This is now my 12th election. It is my 3rd presidential election. And it's my 12th year, not my 12th election, because we have 3 or 4 a year. But my 12th year and my 3rd presidential election, my 12th general election. And it's been an honor. And I hope to do more. But until tomorrow's done, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about this election because it's too important not to go out and vote. Every vote is a hope. Every vote is precious and sacred. If we can find a way to get you to vote, we're going to do so. So thank you very much and enjoy tomorrow. Go out there and give it all you got. Bye-bye.